Imagine the being that rests at your feet. Do you see only fur and bone? Or do you sense something more? A presence, a stillness that seems to understand the very rhythm of your soul. This is not a story about pets. It is a quiet uncovering of an ancient, sacred truth. A truth about the guardians who walk beside us on four legs. This understanding began not with a theory, but with a deep listening. A listening to a wisdom that flows from a source beyond the noise of the everyday world. Every dog, it is said, is on a silent mission, bound to the human they walk with. They are our guardians, disguised in simple forms. Their loyalty is not mere instinct. It is a sacred vow. They feel the currents of your heart before you even name the emotion. This connection is not in the flesh. It is in the flow of life itself. A current that is energetic, spiritual, unseen. Wisdom has been passed down that opens our eyes to past lives, to pathways of healing, to the quiet currents of what is to come. But this insight about our canine companions, it touches a place deep within us, a truth millions feel in their homes each day, a bond they have never been able to voice. Have you ever wondered, why did this specific soul enter your life at that exact moment? Among all the beings in the world, why did you find each other? Why does it possess this unique spirit, these specific habits, this particular way of being? Ancient wisdom teaches us that there is no chance in this sacred dance. There is only a perfect path, a spiritual purpose veiled in what we call love. Today, many years after this truth was first spoken into the world, we are ready to truly see, ready to understand the light your dog brings into your life. Pause for a moment. Feel into the memory of your first meeting. Perhaps you walked into a shelter just to look and walked out with a soulmate. Perhaps they appeared at your door, a traveler finding a home, or maybe you resisted until a quiet, inner knowing guided your hand. Do you truly believe this was an accident? The ancient teachings reveal a truth that will shift the ground beneath your feet. You and your companion knew each other long before you met in this stream of life. Your connection is a river that flows beyond time, beyond form, beyond even the gateway of death. In the great stillness before we take human form, we make quiet agreements. We weave sacred contracts with the souls who will be our family, our friends, our guides, and yes, our four-legged guardians. The man through whom much of this wisdom flowed was not a showman seeking fame. He was an ordinary man who discovered an extraordinary wellspring within himself. A humble farmer's son, born in a simple time. He was a photographer who lost his voice, only to find it again in the great silence of trance. The doctors saw no path. Yet, in this deep state, he not only saw the root of his own affliction, but also prescribed the precise way to heal it. His voice returned, but something far greater was unlocked. While his body slept, his consciousness could touch any soul, anywhere. He simply needed a name, a location, to access a stream of pure information about the body's needs, the spirit's journey, the echoes of lives past. For over 4 decades, he gave thousands of these life readings. Doctors were humbled by their accuracy. Strangers confirmed the clarity of his sight. Scientists studied his state, but could not map the territory he explored. He became known as the sleeping prophet, for the wisdom flowed only when his thinking mind was still. It was as if a greater stream of consciousness spoke through him, and it was this stream that illuminated the path of our dogs. The teachings about animals were consistent and clear. Each species has a unique energetic purpose on this earth. It was explained why certain souls are drawn to certain people, how they act as living bridges between the world we see and the worlds unseen. But dogs, this wisdom tells us, hold a unique place. They are the only beings who made a conscious pact with humanity, not for survival, not for domestication, a deep spiritual covenant. Dogs chose to walk the path of evolution alongside us. This was a truth revealed from that deep state of knowing. They sacrificed a part of their wild, the untamed nature to become our spiritual companions. A sacred contract that flows across lifetimes. What makes these revelations so profound is that they echo the truth that our sciences would only begin to touch upon half a century later. The depth of the bond. The silent communication, the flow of emotion between species. It was explained that a dog's senses are not limited to the physical. Their entire being is an instrument of perception. They feel changes in the energetic field around a person. They can sense spiritual presences. They can even feel the currents of the future through the energy of the present. A dog knows when its mission with a soul is complete. They also know when it is their time to journey on. This is not a moment of sorrow. It is the fulfillment of a sacred purpose. During these transmissions of wisdom, it was often mentioned how dogs serve as perfect mirrors for the souls they guide. If a person needs to learn the true nature of loyalty, a dog whose heart is an unwavering flame of loyalty will find them. If patience is the lesson, a companion who tests the boundaries of patience will arrive. If the heart carries a deep wound, a dog with a profoundly healing presence will enter their life. The most powerful part is that these insights were shared with the same calm certainty as a diagnosis for the body. To this deeper wisdom, there is no separation between healing the body and understanding the soul. It is all one path, one flow, one interconnected reality. Today, long after this man's passing, these truths continue to resonate in the hearts of millions. People who live with these guardians report telepathic whispers, a sense of unseen protection, transformations in their own character that can only be understood through this ancient lens. The authority of this wisdom comes not from one man, but from its persistent echo in our own direct experience. When it speaks of the spiritual mission of dogs, it is not offering theory. It is transmitting a quiet knowing from a deeper stream of reality. And this knowing is about to transform your relationship with the being resting at your side. Pause again. Return to the story of how you met, the shelter, the doorstep, the unexplainable change of heart. Do you still call it coincidence? An ancient truth whispers, you already knew each other. Your souls had met long before your bodies did. You share a connection that defies our linear understanding of time. In the vast, silent space before this life, we enter into agreements with other souls. We choose the roles we will play for each other's growth. Our family, our partners, and our four-legged guardians. Canine souls choose their human families before they are born into this world. So it was taught. They perceive our spiritual needs. They see the lessons our soul is ready to learn. And they prepare themselves to serve us in the exact way we require. This means your dog is not an animal you chose. It is a soul that accepted a mission to aid in your spiritual journey. It knows your shadows, your deepest fears, your emotional wounds that need healing. And it arrived with the perfect personality to hold a mirror up to those parts of you. Consider your dog's spirit. If it is fiercely protective, perhaps you must learn to create safe boundaries for yourself. If it is endlessly playful, perhaps your own soul needs to rediscover the simple spring of joy. If it is a being of deep calm, perhaps your spirit is crying out for stillness and peace. But the connection is a river that runs deeper than personality. It was revealed that many of our companions are souls who have walked with us before, in other lifetimes, in other forms. They return to continue a sacred work that was started long ago. The recognition of a soul from a past life is instant. There is a familiarity that needs no explanation. A bond that doesn't need to be built, because it already exists as a silent, powerful river between you. Have you felt this? A knowing of them that goes far beyond the few years you've shared. That is not your mind. That is your soul remembering. The signs of this ancient bond are clear. Your dog may react to a certain place as if with memory. It may carry fears or display preferences that have no root in its current life. It may possess skills that seem innate, echoes of another time. It was also revealed that some dogs are human souls who chose this path of service, to incarnate as an animal, to be a guardian for a specific person. These are the special ones, the old souls with human wisdom in their eyes. Those who show a compassion so deep it seems to flow from a human heart. These souls make an immense sacrifice. They release the human experience to serve as a pure, unwavering beacon of love. It is an act of devotion our minds can barely grasp. This explains why some dogs seem to understand the unsaid, why their empathy is so profound, why they sometimes seem to be teaching us something vital through their silent being. The timing of their arrival is also no accident. Your guardian arrives exactly when your soul requires them. It might be during a dark valley in your journey, or just before a great transformation, or when you are about to face a mountain that will demand the very support only they can offer. This perfect timing is described as part of the sacred choreography that guides our lives. Nothing is left to chance. Every meeting has a purpose, every connection a meaning, and the mission of these canine souls is among the most sacred. They come to teach us of unwavering love, of loyalty without conditions, of forgiveness, of joy in the now, of complete acceptance. But they also come to shield us energetically, to help us heal ancient wounds, and to prepare us for the next turn in our spiritual path. When you look at your dog now, you are not just seeing an animal. You are seeing a spiritual being who chose to align its journey with yours. You are seeing a courageous soul who took a vow to stand by your side through light and shadow. Why does your dog sometimes seem to shield you from something you cannot see? Why do they become restless in a particular place? Why do they sense a shift in the energy before you are even aware? The answer lies far beyond instinct. They are spiritual guardians in humble disguise. While we as humans have let our subtle senses grow quiet over centuries, our dogs have kept this clarity intact. They see, feel, and perceive dimensions of reality our rational minds have built walls against, and they use this sensitivity to protect us in ways we may never fully comprehend. Dogs serve as spiritual sentinels, so the wisdom teaches. They can detect dense energies, disruptive presences, and even thought forms that approach their human companion. This means when your dog barks at an empty corner, they are not barking at nothing. They are responding to what is there, which your senses cannot perceive. A dog's ability to see beyond the veil is why so many ancient traditions held them as sacred, but their protection is more than an alarm. They act as living energetic shields. They absorb negativity directed at their humans, transmuting these dense energies through their own clean, auric field. A dog can absorb a significant portion of the disruptive energy meant for its companion. They do this consciously as part of their soul's promise, a service offered from a place of pure love. This reveals why some dogs develop mysterious conditions that seem to mirror the emotional or physical state of their owners. They are not just becoming sick, they are literally taking on and processing heavy energies to protect the one they love. It is taught there are 3 layers to this spiritual protection. First, the basic energetic field. Every dog establishes a bubble of protective energy around its home and family. They can feel when someone approaches with a disruptive inner state long before they reach the door. This is why a dog may grow restless before certain visitors arrive. Second, the guardianship against entities. Dogs can perceive and interact with energies and presences in dimensions close to our own. They serve as a natural barrier, a clear and steady light against spiritual influences that might seek to disturb the harmony of their home. And third, advanced psychic shielding. Some companions, especially those with a very deep spiritual bond with their person, can intercept consciously directed negative energy. They absorb and dissolve it before it reaches its target. What makes this service so extraordinary is that it is freely given. Dogs are not bound to this role. They choose it. Out of love, it is the fulfillment of the sacred contract made before this lifetime. A dog's loyalty is not instinct, the ancient teachings remind us. It is a spiritual commitment. A vow to protect and serve, a vow they honor until their last breath. This explains behaviors we often misinterpret. When your dog dislikes a certain person, it is not being unsocial. It is reading an energy that feels disharmonious or potentially harmful to you. When it insists on sleeping in your room or on your bed, it is not being demanding. It is maintaining your energetic protection during your most open state sleep. While we sleep, our own energetic fields become more permeable. Our guardians know this, and they heighten their watch. This is why many report their dogs become more alert at night, even when there is no physical sound or threat. The teachings also reveal that dogs can sense negative probabilities before they manifest. They feel the shifts in the energetic field that precede accidents, illnesses, or crises. That is why they sometimes display strange behaviors, trying to warn us of something we cannot yet see. They read the future possibilities in the currents of the present moment. An agitated dog may be a sign of a storm that is still gathering on the horizon of your life. This foresight is one of the highest forms of their protection. They don't just react to present danger. They help us prepare for what is to come. Now that you know your companion is a spiritual guardian, it is time to learn the language of the signs they are constantly sending you. Every behavior we call strange has a deeper meaning. Your dog is trying to speak to you about realities your own senses have filtered out. The most common sign is barking at empty space. When your dog barks at a corner where nothing is visible, it is literally perceiving something. The teachings explain that dogs can see residual energy, emotional imprints left by intense events of the past. Every space holds memory. Dogs read these memories like an open book. They bark to alert you to an energy that could be disharmonious. If your dog consistently barks at the same spot, be mindful. Perhaps something difficult occurred there. It could be a point where heavy energy gathers. The tone of the bark is also a clue. Short, sharp barks often point to a physical presence. Long, deep barks can signal a dense or negative spiritual energy. Quick, high-pitched barks can be warnings of an imminent event. Another clear sign is the refusal to enter certain spaces. If your dog avoids a specific room, it is feeling something there. Dogs are like living instruments that measure energy. They feel immediately when a space is heavy or contains a presence that is not welcome. If your dog will not enter a space, trust its wisdom. Cleanse the energy of that area. Light a candle, burn some cleansing herbs, or simply hold an intention of peace and ask for the space to be purified. And what of the times your dog stares intently at something you cannot see, standing perfectly still, its gaze fixed, as if watching a fascinating film? At these moments, your companion is likely observing a spiritual presence. It could be a loving guide, a relative who has passed, or simply energy flowing through the space. The dog's reaction is the key. If it is calm, curious, the presence is benevolent. If it is tense, wary, the energy may be one that needs clearing. The moments when your dog approaches you for no clear reason, insisting on being close, also carry a message. It is taught that dogs feel when our own energy is unbalanced, or when we are being affected by external psychic pressures. They come close to offer their strength. Their physical presence reinforces our own auric field, creating a shield. So the next time your companion comes to you insistently, pause. How were you feeling? Were you lost in worry? Anxious? Your dog felt your need for energetic support. Overprotective behaviors are also important signs. If your dog suddenly shadows your every move, sleeps by your door, or becomes hyper vigilant around others, it may be sensing that you are in a period of spiritual vulnerability. This often occurs during times of great change, stress, or when we are making pivotal life decisions. Our energy becomes more open, and our dogs instinctively tighten their protective circle around us. Even their eating habits can be a spiritual indicator. A dog that suddenly refuses to eat may be absorbing dense energies from its environment or its human. They can literally lose their appetite when they are engaged in a heavy work of energetic protection. When a dog's appetite vanishes without a medical cause, we should look inward. What is happening in the emotional climate of the home? The patterns of their sleep also reveal a great deal. A dog that sleeps far more than usual may be processing heavy energy it has absorbed. In sleep, they transmute these energies and cleanse themselves. On the other hand, a dog that is restless at night, unable to settle, may be detecting intense spiritual activity around you. They are keeping watch while you are vulnerable. The most touching sign, as described in the teachings, is when a dog begins to show an abundance of affection, seemingly out of nowhere. They become more loving, seek more physical contact. This often happens when they feel their mission, their time with us, is drawing to a close. It is as if they know their journey together is finite, and they wish to drink in every last moment of connection. This knowing places a beautiful responsibility on us to pay attention, to listen to the silent language our companions are speaking at every moment, and that communication is a path that can be consciously deepened. Ancient wisdom tells us that this dialogue does not depend on words. It flows through thought, waves, through mental images, through the direct meeting of two consciousnesses. The dogs are natural masters of this silent language. They never forgot it. While we humans developed verbal language and let our intuitive channels grow quiet, dogs have kept this pure connection alive. They not only receive our thoughts, they are constantly sending us information. The only barrier is that most of us have not learned to listen. Let us begin with what you have already felt. The thought of food. You are in another room. You haven't moved. You simply think of feeding your dog. Moments later, they appear in the kitchen, waiting. They did not hear a sound. They felt the ripple of your intention. A shared sadness. You feel a wave of grief but show no outward sign. Still, your dog comes to your side, offering a gentle presence. It felt the shift in your energy before your face could show it, anticipating your return. Your dog grows restless, moves to the door, minutes before you arrive. Even when your return time is different each day, they are sensing your intention to come home long before the sound of your car. It is explained that this communication occurs within what is called a shared field of consciousness. When you form a deep bond with your companion, you literally create a shared mental space where thoughts, emotions, and intentions flow freely between you. This is not magic. It is the physics of spirit. It is taught that consciousness operates at a certain frequency. When two beings are tuned to the same frequency, silent communication becomes effortless. And you can cultivate this connection consciously. Here are the practices. First, communication through images. Sit quietly near your dog. Close your eyes. Clearly visualize an image of what you wish to communicate. To ask them to come, see them walking towards you. To ask for calm, visualize them resting peacefully. Hold this image gently, like a clear picture sent from your mind to theirs. No force, just a clear, loving projection. Second, the transmission of feeling. Dogs are incredibly sensitive to your inner state. You can communicate through feeling. If you want them to be calm, first find a deep sense of peace within yourself. Breathe it. Feel it. If you want them to be alert, cultivate a state of focused attention. The key is to truly feel the state, not to think about it. Dogs read what you are, not what you pretend to be. Third, the language of the eyes. Look softly into your dog's eyes. Not a hard stare, but a gentle, loving gaze. With this open connection, project your message mentally. It is said that direct, loving eye contact creates an immediate telepathic bridge. It is why you can have an entire conversation with just a look. Fourth, ask a silent question and observe. You can ask your dog a question in your mind and then watch for the answer in their body, their energy, their expression. Mentally ask, "Are you well?" Then watch, "Do you want to walk?" Then feel the response. The answer may be a shift in their body, a change in their energy, or even an image that arises in your own mind. Trust the first quiet whisper of an answer you receive, but this silent language is a river that flows deeper than simple requests. The teachings reveal that our companions often try to communicate vital information to us about our health, our path, our spiritual well-being, warnings for health. Dogs can sense imbalance in the body before physical symptoms manifest. If your dog persistently licks or sniffs one area of your body, pay attention. They may be alerting you to a developing issue. Insights about people. When your dog shows a strong, inexplicable aversion to someone, they are reading that person's energetic field. Trust their intuition, whispers of the future. Dogs can sense the energetic shifts that precede major events. If your companion is acting unusually restless for no clear reason, they may be feeling a significant change approaching in your life. The most profound revelation from the ancient teachings concerns our dogs' role as spiritual healers. Dogs are divine instruments of healing, so it is taught. They can absorb emotional trauma, dissolve energetic blockages, and restore balance to the hearts of their human companions. This is one of their most sacred duties. If you have ever walked through a dark valley in your life and felt the quiet comfort of your dog's presence as a saving grace, you have experienced this healing. It was not just companionship. It was a literal transmission of healing energy through your bond of love. Our dogs possess a natural gift that we have largely forgotten. They can absorb heavy energy without being permanently harmed by it. They are like conscious energetic sponges, drawing out emotional density and transforming it into light. Let us understand this path of healing. The absorption of trauma. When you are moving through deep pain, grief, heartbreak, loss, your dog feels the disruption in your energetic field. It will draw near through simple physical contact, or just by being present. It begins to absorb that dense energy of trauma. Have you noticed how your dog stays closer when you are sad? How it insists on physical touch? It is not only offering comfort, it is literally pulling the energetic pain from your system. Energetic transmutation. After absorbing the difficult energy, dogs process it through their own clean field. The teachings explain they have a natural alchemy. It is as if they are spiritual artisans, turning the lead of sorrow into the gold of light, the return of healed energy. After transmuting the energy, they return it to you, purified and whole. This happens through their affection, their closeness, even the love in their eyes. This is why you feel lighter after spending time with your dog when you are in pain. You have literally received a gift of healed energy. This is a real energetic process. Many report that after walking through hardship, their steady return to light was profoundly supported by the constant, healing presence of their dog. The teachings identified different streams of this healing. Healing anxiety. Dogs are powerful healers of anxiety because their entire being radiates presence. They live in the now. Their energy naturally calms our agitated nervous system and brings us back to our center. Healing depression. The pure life force of a dog is a natural antidote to the heavy cloak of depression. Their genuine joy, their enthusiasm, their unwavering love. This light gradually dissolves the density of sorrow. Healing trauma. Dogs create a space of absolute emotional safety. They do not judge. They do not criticize. They do not abandon. This unconditional presence allows old wounds to finally surface and be healed. Healing loneliness. The deep connection with our dogs heals the ache of separation. They teach us we are worthy of a love that asks for nothing in return, that we are never truly alone. This healing deepens even more during sleep. It was revealed that when we sleep near our dogs, a profound energetic synchronization takes place. Our auric fields align, and healing happens on the most subtle levels. In sleep, the barriers of the thinking mind fall away. That is when the deepest healing can occur. A dog sleeping near its human is actively working to mend the wounds of the soul. This is why so many feel an instinctual need to sleep near their companions. It is not just for comfort. It is a soul's call for energetic healing. And this healing goes beyond the emotional. They can stimulate physical healing as well, through healing vibrations. The rhythmic breath and heartbeat of a relaxed dog creates subtle vibrations that can promote cellular regeneration. Through healing warmth, a dog's body heat is energetic. When they lie on a painful area, they are offering a healing warmth that can ease discomfort. Through pressure, they seem to know intuitively where to apply pressure to stimulate energy points in the body. When they rest a paw on you, they may be activating a point of healing. It was also discovered that different spirits in dog form have different healing gifts. Large, grounding dogs are masters at healing deep trauma. Small dogs are wonderful for soothing anxiety. Calm dogs are ideal for healing stress. Playful dogs are perfect for lifting depression. The most extraordinary part is that they offer this healing consciously. They know their purpose. It is their choice to take on our pain to help us. A bath of energy from the sun, time in the peace of nature, joyful play. These things help our dogs to release the heavy energies they have absorbed for us. It is how we can repay the sacred service they offer so freely. When we see our dogs as spiritual healers, our gratitude becomes a vast and boundless river. They are not our pets. They are angels with 4 paws, devoted to our healing and to our journey home. And this healing is only the beginning of the transformation they bring. The teachings on dogs as healers extend to the most profound insight of all, the concept of the soul mirror. Your dog does not just reflect your emotions, it reflects your very soul. Every trait, every behavior, every challenge your dog presents is mirroring something specific about your own inner landscape. Dogs are direct reflections of their human's inner state. It was taught that they manifest externally what we need to see within ourselves but cannot. This means your dog is like an open book, revealing the story of your own soul. Its gifts, its shadows, its fears, its needs. All of it is being lived out through the being of your companion. Let us begin with an example that may shift your perspective. An aggressive dog rarely belongs to an overtly aggressive person. More often, it belongs to someone who has suppressed their own healthy fire, their own power. The dog is expressing the vital energy that its human is afraid to own. Pause and ask, where in my life do I feel my space is invaded? Where do I need to draw clearer boundaries? Where am I not protecting my own sacred, emotional ground? The wisdom teaches that our dogs arrive already equipped with the perfect spiritual curriculum for us. They are here to show us our blind spots. Let's explore the most common mirrors. The anxious dog. If your companion is riddled with anxiety, it is likely you also carry this current within you. Even if it is unspoken, anxious dogs often come to people who need to learn to release control, to trust the flow of life. They force us to cultivate patience, and in healing them, we heal ourselves. The fearful dog. A dog that is afraid of everything is a mirror for our own unacknowledged fears. They show us how fear can paralyze us. By helping them find courage, we find our own. The stubborn dog. If your dog is a master of resistance, it is reflecting your own resistance to change. These companions find people who need to learn the art of yielding, of flexibility. They teach us we cannot control the river, we can only learn to navigate it. The needy dog, a dog that demands constant attention, is a mirror for our own emotional hunger. They show us how our need for approval can become a cage. In teaching them to feel secure, we learn to find that security within ourselves. The independent dog, a fiercely independent dog, often belongs to a person who struggles with deep intimacy. They teach us the balance between freedom and connection. But the most powerful mirror is how a dog's physical ailments can reflect their human's emotional state. Extraordinary connections were discovered. Digestive issues. Dogs with digestive problems often belong to people who cannot stomach a situation in their life. They are absorbing and trying to process an energy their human cannot. Skin problems. Skin issues in a dog can reflect their human struggles with self-worth or vulnerability. The skin is our boundary to the world. A problem there often mirrors a difficulty with being seen. Respiratory problems. A dog with breathing issues may be reflecting its human's feeling of being stifled or suffocated, a feeling of not having the space to breathe freely in their own life. Heart problems, perhaps the most moving of all. Dogs who develop heart conditions often belong to people with wounded or closed hearts. They are literally absorbing the heart's pain of their human. Our dogs take on these burdens as an act of spiritual service. They would rather suffer in the body than see their companion suffer in the soul. This brings a profound responsibility. When our dog falls ill, we must also look within. What emotional part of our own life is calling for healing? It is often seen that as we begin our own emotional healing, our dogs mysteriously recover. But the mirror also reflects our light. Joyful, balanced dogs are often companions to people who are living in deep harmony with themselves. Affectionate, social dogs mirror people who are open to giving and receiving love. Your dog's personality also reveals your own sleeping gifts. If your dog is profoundly intuitive, you likely possess psychic abilities you are not yet using. If they are fiercely protective, you may have a gift for caring for others. The ancient teachings taught that we can quicken our own spiritual growth by consciously observing the mirror our dogs provide. Instead of judging their behavior, we must learn to ask, what is this showing me about myself? When we begin to see our dogs as soul mirrors, the relationship is transformed. Their behaviors cease to be problems to be fixed. They become lessons to be embraced. If this path calls to you, let a simple like be your first step on this journey together. And by joining our circle and turning on notifications, you ensure that you will not miss the wisdom that is yet to come.